All right, welcome to a new week. This week is going to be on one-digit division. You do still want your multiplication chart. You need to use your multiplication chart when you're doing division to help you. So let's talk about division. The dividend is the number being divided. So we're going to talk terminology first. It's placed on the inside of the long division symbol. The divisor is the number on the outside. It's the one that's doing the dividing. So the dividend is kind of the number that is on the inside, and it's the one that's going to be split up by the divisor. The divisor is the one that's going to split the dividend. And so the divisor goes on the outside, and the quotient, that's just a fancy math word to mean the answer. And the answer goes on the top. So if you take a look at an example of it written horizontally, this is not long division writing. So you've got 45 divided by 9 equals 5. 45 is your dividend. It's the number that's being divided. 9 is your divisor. It's the number that's doing the dividing. The 9 is splitting the 45 up. And your quotient, your answer, is 5. How many times can 9 go into 45? How many times can 9 split 45 up? 45 can be split up 9 times with 5 in each group. So that's what division is. But we are working on long division this week. What that means is you're not going to be working with smaller numbers, you're going to be working with larger numbers. So, that didn't work. So let's take a look at long division. Here's long division, how it looks. We're using the same example. So when you're doing long division, the divisor is the one that goes on the outside, and then you use your long division symbol. The 45, your dividend, goes on the inside, and what you're trying to figure out is how many times can 9 go into 45. When you find your answer, your quotient, it goes on the top. When you're working with long division, oftentimes you're going to need to do more than one calculation, more than one divide, to get to your final answer. So what you want to do is when you're doing per calculation, you put down your answer and then you minus those. If you have 0, you're done. No remainder. So today, on Monday, November 30th, you are going to be working on ones that have no remainder. That is page 24. All those questions have no remainder, and those are the questions you're going to work on today. Tomorrow we'll talk about what happens when you do have a remainder. So let's do an example. Here's an example here. This is not on any of your pages, it's just one that I made up. And so, using your multiplication chart, let's answer this question. I've got 3 as my divisor and 1,809 as my dividend. So I have to figure out how many times can 3 go into 1,809. But that's too big, and I don't know off the top of my head, so I split it up. And I just go number by number. So 3 into 1, I can't do that. 3 can't go into 1, it's too small. It has to be either 3 or bigger. So instead of using the 1, I'm going to use the 18. 3 into 18. How many times can 3 go into 18? This is where you want to use your multiplication chart. Look down your 3's. Put your finger right on top of that 3 and move it down. Once you get to the closest thing to 18 without going over, you stop. In this case, if you move your finger down the 3 column, you will get to 18. 3 can go into 18 evenly. So I'm going to minus those, but I still have to put up my quotient, my answer. So if you take your finger and you go down the 3's till you get to 18, move over to the side to find out how many times does 3 go into 18. And so if you move over to the side, it's 6. The 6 goes on top of the 18 in your answer area. Then you do 18 minus 18, which is 0, and you drop the next digit. So you do 3 into 0. Now this is easy. 3 can't go into 0, it is 0. So you add a 0, and then you drop the next number. 3 into 9. So you put your finger on the 3's, and you look down the list until you get to, in this case, 9. And then you move your finger to the side to find out how many times does 3 go into 9. So it goes evenly. My 9 goes into my long division. And when I look to the side, I find out that 3 goes into 9 3 times. You can check this. Think about division as the exact opposite of multiplication. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 into 18 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 into 9 is 3. So they're connected that way. And that's why we use our multiplication chart when we're doing division. All right. So what you need to do is make sure that all of this is written down in your notebook. Everything I put on the board goes in your notebook. Don't forget, you can pause, you can rewind the video, you can watch it over and over again. And then you need to move on to page 24 and watch the next video on examples from page 24.